All right, good afternoon, grade 10. And for today, we are going to focus now on the components of arts in MAPE, specifically the topic of media-based arts and design in the Philippines. So what are the target objectives for today's afternoon session? Number one, identify art elements in the various media-based arts in the Philippines. Number two, identify representative artists as well as the distinct characteristics of media-based arts and design in the Philippines. Number three, discuss the truism that the Filipino ingenuity is distinct, exceptional, and on a par with the global standards. Number four, discuss the role or function of artworks by evaluating their utilization and combination of art elements and principles. And lastly, number five, use artworks to derive the tradition and history of a community. So without further ado, let's start with the lesson number one, which is all about the photography. So let's define first what is photography. It's been said that it's an art, an application, and a practice of creating durable images by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation, either electronically by means of an image sensor or chemically by the means of the light-sensitive materials such as photographic film. As we go back on the history, the process of taking a photography is very much complicated. You need to take a shots by the presence of the light, and you need to develop it in a dark room. It's being said that the photographer is an artist. It is because, on the perception of the photographer, he or she can capture the exact moments, the right angles, and the beautiful views and landscapes and sceneries, which can convey different informations from the audiences. It's been said that focusing a camera at the subject and clicking the shutter is photography as a process. Discerning a significant moment or a unique expression, framing it in the camera viewfinder with an eye for composition, and then clicking the shutter is a photography, same as an art. So in any pictorial shoot, let's say that a photographer may position lighting, modify the lens setting, or use filters to create an effect or she has conceptualized beforehand. In addition, in terms of photography, it becomes clear how the photographer has captured the elements of form, the elements of the colors, the light and the shadow, the texture, and composition to create a true work of art. By looking at the first image, we can say that as a photographer, he focuses on the light and the presence of the shadow, in which it reflects the shapes of the containers and the different colors that being portrayed. On the second image is we have sets of different pencils in which it conveys different colors. However, on the middle part, it was a blended, either it's neutral or contradicting on the color. And the third image portray a texture in which we all know as we go back on the elements of arts, when we say texture, we can easily identify it by means of the visual. Aside from means of touching, by means of visual, we can identify whether it's the art is composed, whether it's bumpy, smooth, or hard surface. It's being said that photography is a form of communication. Nowadays, YouTube's, Facebook's, and other digital forms, just posting a certain image can portray series of different comments and reflections. So let's move on. Being a modern art form means that photography is now viewed as being more than just about beautiful. It is also considered one of the most powerful means of communication. So let's identify what are the different communications that we can portray based on the images. Number one, on your left side, there are two persons that having a happy activities in which their hands are full of different colors. In your perception, we can say that they are happy. That is form of communication. And some say they are on a occasion. But in terms of communication, they are um, reflecting and conveying the Down syndrome awareness. On the number two pictures, it portrays the gifts and the talents of this able person that giving her the opportunities to join in dance session even though she has a disability. On the third picture, all the fingers are pointing out on a person having a disability. Again, somehow reflects on the discrimination for not giving equal treatment for those people having this kind of situation. Next up is next to the printed word, the photographic image is today's most important means of conveying information and ideas, expressing emotions, and even championing causes. So aside from the words, we have your sets of pictures that can reflect different kinds of communication. Let's start with this one image with having a circle. So it can reflect on the water pollution, on the garbage that we throw on the sea, and what does it reflect on the sea creatures. Another is an image in which a child or a girl being handed by a man, in which we can say that it can reflect communication in the sexual exploitation, child abuse, and so on and so forth. The third image is a grandma kissing a chick, a baby chicken, in which it can say that the communication being reflected is love for the animals. Next up is a girl raising a flag in which reflects the different colors from the LGBT community, portraying the freedom, the respect, and equal treatment for those people in this category. So again, the key underline word, whether you are pro or not in the LGBT, is respect. Next, another, for those people handling a guns, it's somehow very timely on what are the scenarios that is happening nowadays, especially if it is between the Ukraine and the Russia. So it's a war. Next up is good politics. Whom do you choose to be presidential candidate for the president, vice president, and senators, the paradise and the colorful parades of elections? Another image portrays on the love in which all of us feel this way and reflecting on the different kinds of loves being portrayed. We have here noteworthy Philippine photographers who won sets of different awards based on their captured pictures and being published on the books and other magazines and articles. Let's start. The Philippines has joined the rest of the world in applying the wonders of the modern photography to every aspect of life, from personal to professional, and being a professional, being competed to national, and lastly, to global community. And with our country's natural beauty, a number of local photographers have taken on the Philippines and our people as a major focus of their lenses. Next, we have here one of the naughty photographers. We have here George Tapan. He is an award-winning travel photographer who has won two Pacific Asia Tourism Association or what he called PATA Gold Awards, and which is an ASEAN Tourism Association Award in which he first placed in the 2011 National Geographic Photo Contest. His highly acclaimed work has been published in 5 travel photography books. Next is John K. Chua. He is best known as advertising and commercial photographer with over 40 years of experience in this field and numerous local and international awards for his work. At the same time, he has applied his photo artistry showcasing the beauty of the Philippines. So, noteworthy photographers, we have here George Tapan and John K. Chua. Just like a statement on Jujutsu Kaisen, they don't have to know everything about you. So I have here sets of different pictures and images, and you need to give some insights and reflections or a word which can connect to these certain pictures. Let's start. So number one, what does it reflect? I give you 5 seconds to answer. Okay, we can say it reflects on the garbage, on the solid waste management, and the pollutions that we are now encountering. How about for the image number two? All right, for the number two, we can say that the image portray the distribution and retrieval of your modules. It's a new setup of the education and one way of modality or distance modality that being portrayed for the BELCP. Number three image. All right, we can say that the image portray discrimination, words in which connected on the bullying, anxiety and depressions, and so on and so forth. Again, a certain image can portray lots of different reflections and opinions. Number four. Okay, for the number four, we can say that refers on the safety protocols and the new frontliners of our society in which we salute on them. And how about for the number five? All right, we can associate with the politics, corruption, poverty, and child labor. So I hope that you learned something for our lesson number one, which is all about the photography as the medium-based art of technology. If you have any questions and comments, feel free to message your teacher and write your reflection on the comment section. Thank you very much and have a good day.